Okay, my apologies. We had the dogs barking because someone showed up. So this is part 2 of your science video. And we will continue on. We looked at the spines and the little flecks that they're like little pieces of bone almost that hold it and give it its shape. You know, if we didn't have a spine, we would just be a puddle on the floor because our bones help hold us up. Okay. Many soft corals look like underwater trees. They sway with the ocean currents. If you didn't know better, you might think they were plants, not animals. Kind of looks like a little tree plant, doesn't it? Of course, they really are animals because they cannot make their own food. Instead, just like stony corals, they capture food with their tentacles. Okay, non-nettle jellies. Ranging from the size of a pea to the size of your entire arm, the comb jelly looks a lot like a jellyfish. So, our next one we're going to talk about is the comb jelly. And they said they could be really small, or they could be the size of your arm. And they look like a jellyfish, but this animal is not a cnidarian. Do you remember what the word cnidarian means? It means nettle animal. Comb jellies aren't cnidarians because they don't have nematocysts. They're not going to sting you that way. Thus, they don't have a sting. Instead, this little creature has a sticky substance on its tentacles to capture prey. Small creatures get stuck in these sticky tentacles and end up as lunch for the comb jelly when the jelly sweeps its ketchup into its mouth. Unlike most jellyfish, the comb jelly can actually retract its tentacles when it's not feeding. Even though the comb jellies are not in this class of cnidaria, we include them here because they are so similar to jellyfish. Though numerous in the sea, they are hard to see because they are so transparent. Transparent means clear, right? Unlike most other creatures, these little rascals live both near the shore and also in the deepest, darkest depths of the sea. Down there, they are some of the most plentiful animals around. Why are these animals called comb jellies? Because of the combs, of course. In science, the common name usually has something to do with what the animal looks like. All around the body of a comb jelly are 8 columns of tiny hairs in such neat rows that they look like combs in the animal's body. The hairs on each comb wave back and forth so that the comb jelly can control which way it is pointing as it floats. Even though it can control how it points in the water, the comb jelly is considered to be part of the plankton community because it cannot swim well enough to fight the ocean's currents. A few kinds of comb jellies have bioluminescence, and we've talked about that word before. Do you remember what it is? It's the ability to make a light, just like a firefly. At night, these comb jellies are visible on the surface of the water as millions of tiny lights. Small, unsuspecting creatures may swim towards the light and end up inside the comb jelly's stomach. And you'll see the colors of the comb jelly are due to how the light reflects. So it looks like a rainbow, but it's actually just the light reflecting, like if you were to hold up a CD and it's silver, but it reflects all those different colors, and you can see how it's clear. Notice how one of the tentacles is extended for feeding, but the right tentacle is retracted. So make sure you look at that picture and discover more about the comb jelly. Okay, thanks for listening, and we'll be moving on to some worksheets next week.